Hey y'all, so I have a quick tutorial for you today on how to make your own embellishments. But first I want to apologize for the lighting. The sun was going down while I was filming this, so I had to kind of hurry up and get this done. So what I've been doing in my craft room today was just making my own embellishments, so I thought I would film the last half of it because I started making them and then thought, well, why not share on YouTube. So this video is actually, or tutorial is actually inspired by Ellen H on YouTube. She is a fellow design team member for the SNL design team, created by Sandra and Lisa, who are Maggie Milo and Oh Snap Gonzo on YouTube. And so I'll have all the information down bar in the down bar below. But so Ellen and Alice's challenge this past week. Alice is Vintage Gal. I don't know if I already said that or not, but their challenge was to make their own embellishments for their scrapbook pages, and I really loved this challenge. They both did a great job, and it really inspired me to try to get in my craft room and make some of my own embellishments. I always have these little small embellishments that I buy or I get in kits, and I hardly ever know what to do with them, and so I thought I would pull out some of my punches that I rarely use and also pull out some of the smaller embellishments that I have a hard time using, and I thought I would make my own embellishments. So what I've done is I've taken a few punches. I've taken kind of a large, not a large scallop punch. It's probably about a, let's see, it's about a 1.5 inch punch, and I've taken that, and then I've taken a couple of circle punches that are smaller than the scallop punch. So it's probably like a 1 inch and a 1/2 inch maybe, or maybe a 1 inch and a 3/4. It's pretty close to the other sizes. They nest right together. If I'm making any sense, I'm really sorry. So what I'm doing is I'm just nesting them together, adhering them, and then placing some smaller embellishments on top. Some I will sew together. Others if I put like a wood veneer on top, obviously I don't sew that down. So I've taken scraps, and you can see this is literally a scrap that I'm using. That was a Studio Calico, one of those sheets that come in our kits that have, like, on the back it has where you can, I don't even know what it is. I think it's where you can check like what kit it is and stuff. So I cut some scallops out of that paper and cut the scallops in half, cut some banner shapes, and if I had a banner shape punch, I would be using that. So don't feel confined to using like circles and scallops. If you have like banner shapes or triangles or squares or rectangles, whatever types of punches you have, this will work. So here I'm just creating my own banner shape, and then I'm going to adhere it to the other to the half scallops and the other banner shape that I already adhered down. And then I'm going to cut a circle in half and then just kind of build layers. That's pretty much all I'm doing. So that little circle right there, and here I'm about to pull it out. Shannon Noel gave or offered free printables on her website, and I think it's shannonnoel.blogspot if I'm not mistaken. And so my color was running out, so these didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted to, and I probably would have printed them. I was just testing them. I probably would have printed them on white paper versus like a cream cardstock. But I just pulled whatever I had just to test, and then I realized my ink was really low. So these work perfectly for, I think that's the 1 inch punch. And so I cut it too small. So what I had to do is adhere it onto a scratch piece of paper so that I can cut it out with my punch. But so I'm going to adhere that right on top, and these are great. I mean, they were free embellishments, and they have, I think she has like journaling cards and other little things on her, other little shapes and tabs and whatnot. So I am using it for these little embellishments, and I thought that it was a really good idea. So well, I'm just like patting myself on the back. I didn't mean it like that. I thought it was a good way to use those, and so I used my punch to cut those out, and then I also took them to I took it to the sewing machine and added an asterisk and I may add something else. I'm not quite sure. Oh, I do add one of these Dollar Spot paper clips that I will show in a haul if I haven't already uploaded it. It will be uploaded soon. So here I'm just going to show a few that I've already made, just random. You can also, what Ellen did was she used some of her smaller stamps, and I've sped up the video quite a bit right here, but what she did was she used some of her smaller stamps and used ink obviously to stamp them out, and then cut them, fussy cut them, and then use those on top of the circle embellishments. I thought that was like such a really good idea. And I don't know why I don't ever take the time to do this, because it really, well, it's going to save money, and it's also, I say it like I'm going to start doing this forever now. I probably will still buy embellishments, but I just think it's kind of a fun way to get creative, but also to save some dollars. So this one I didn't like as much. I just was trying to figure out that love. I came in, let's see, was it flea market? Yeah, it was a flea market ephemera pack, and it was falling apart. And so I was like, I'm gonna find a way to use this to where it's not just kind of sitting around waiting to be torn apart. So I pasted it on some pattern paper, and then I'm gonna take this to the sewing machine here in a second. So what I'm doing right now is basically it. I mean, I've taken a larger flower punch. I think it was a Making Memories punch that I rarely use, and nesting together the circles, and then adding, I think I'll add an enamel dot. There we go. So this is just a quick tutorial on how to make your own embellishments. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you get some inspiration from that, because I definitely did from other YouTubers. So check out those channels that I mentioned, and check out the SNL blog as well. Thanks again. Have a great week.